There's a lot going on today. We're here in this beautiful traditional home, and on the other half of the house, we are shooting holiday. Today we have outfitted this entire living room with McGee Co, and I'm gonna break down this look for you, starting with the mix of styles. Our signature aesthetic is all about mixing styles together, and how they come together in a really harmonious way is all about finding points of connection throughout the pieces. I love organic, modern pieces mixed with more traditional ones, and then hints of prep, vintage inspired details, and you'll see those throughout every single selection in this space. Let's dive into the look, starting with the biggest pieces. We have this beautiful velvet sofa in a praline velvet, and it has an English roll arm shape with brass casters. It's classic and traditional and sets the foundation for a lot of mixing and matching. So this is our more traditional piece, and then we're gonna pull kind of in the opposite direction with these more modern Clegg chairs, and we did them in a linen, so you get a nice texture change between the sofa and the chairs. Then centering the room, we have a huge organic modern coffee table with lots of surface for styling, really interesting leg detail, and it fills the space really nicely. But it's also very practical because you have those curved corners. If you have kids, having a round table is really nice when they're running around the room. And I think it also breaks up the expected look of having a rectangular coffee table with two chairs and an accent. It just kind of gives it a fresh look, which I love. Grounding the space is our new Vanderwood rug, and it has a mix of golden tones mixed with creams and grays, and it's hand knotted, so it has this beautiful luxurious hand feel. And I love that this allows us to mix warm and cool in the space, and you can see that pulled into our pillow selections. I always love to take my textiles and coordinate them with a rug. When designing and putting together color palettes, I want to make sure that even if the overall effect feels neutral, when you really dive into a space, that you're seeing that there are colors, even if they're calm colors throughout the space. And here you can see with the golden tones in the rug. On the pillows have hints of green and blue and even a purple and a red. And yes, they're subdued versions of those colors, but they are still colors, and that helps bring some life, but then you get a cohesive color palette throughout the space that feels unified. The artwork over here is another great example of a way to incorporate neutrals that have depth so that your room doesn't feel flat. Over the years, we've established a signature style of luxe materials and pieces, but then adding relaxed elements to a space so that they feel really inviting. And this is about choosing a few casual moments in a space to really give that look. Here, we have a very traditional velvet sofa, and then we have paired it with a striped slipcover swivel chair in the corner. And I think that slipcovers are great because they're imperfect in the best possible way. It goes to the floor, it's linen, so it's a little looser, and doing that gives the room that relaxed feel. For the styling on the coffee table, we did 3 groupings, and I find that on a round table, if it's large, it's small, 3 groupings is a no-fail approach to styling the surface. And we have different heights here. We have a tray filled with different objects and a vase, and then over here we have our new Portland taper candle holders. And I'm really excited about the finish here and incorporating something that is a mix of a bronze and copper finish so that you get that warm, rich brown tone in an interesting way. We also have that tone incorporated in different ways throughout the room. And so you're feeling unified, but the materials are different. So this ties in with our sofa, which ties in with our pillows and some of our decorative accents back here, but they're all different materials. Behind me, we have these beautiful wall-to-wall bookshelves. And when you're putting together a bookshelf look, it really tells a story of you and your home. And you can do this in an abstract way. And I think that that's all about selecting objects and pieces that spark a memory for you. And here we have a few pieces that I'd like to call out that could do that in your own way. We have this little horse object here. And I think that you could select this and it spark a memory of a time when you spent some time in the country with your family and maybe you went horseback riding. It doesn't have to be the horse from the gift shop. It can be something that just reminds you of a personal story. And that's how we assemble a really designer look in a home, but we interview our clients and get to know their experiences and things that they're inspired by. And then their homes are filled with pieces that are an abstract representation of stories that inspire them. We have quite a few picture frames throughout these shelves, and frames are an obvious way to tell a story and spark a memory, but I think that you want to be mindful about how many you use in a space so that it doesn't feel like you just bought every single frame and then put them on your shelf. You want to spread them out and use them in different ways. Maybe it's on a stack of books, maybe it's set next to, sometimes it's alone, but just be thoughtful about how you space them so that they don't just kind of get clustered into one area of your bookcase. I also want to incorporate pieces that aren't about memories. They speak to the design of the room because that's what's going to unify and create a more cohesive look. That is about materials and tones. So we have a lot of soft neutrals and some depth in the living room space, and you see that carried into all of the selections that are in this bookcase. I'm going to come over here and show you, I'm really excited about these vases. They have this beautiful glaze and different handle details. We've styled with two. There's actually a larger one that has a different kind of urn shape, and they look good in groupings. You could break them up. They hold water so you can style them with flowers, and they're just really great. I love like an interesting and unexpected object on top of books. We have this marble hand object that's really great, and then we also have these polished stone rocks on the table, and I love that it adds that organic touch. When selecting pieces to style with, I make sure that we're not all sharp corners and circles because it's easy to pick objects like vases and books and they all have the same shape. Picking something that has a more asymmetrical shape or something that has a wave, like this bowl, is a great piece to mix into your styling. One, because it mixes up the texture, but two, because you get an interesting shape. And I love that you're getting this woven texture next to some glossy ceramics. Over here, I'm really pumped about the frame because it was inspired by jewelry and it has this chain link detail, and we turned it into a frame shape and it's really pretty. This pot behind me, I just wanted to point out the pretty handle detail and the really nice texture. You could put a plant in this, but it looks great alone on a stack of books as well. Over in the corner, we have this new marble pedestal bowl, and it is substantial and luxe. It looks good alone, kind of used as a bookend here, but you could use this on an entry or a console table, a coffee table. It really translates into different surfaces beautifully, and marble goes with everything. Our collection is filled with new arrivals and expansions of your favorite pieces.